So I am very unexpectedly in the city. I actually had no plans even to come to the country. I missed my connecting flight and I thought let's take the opportunity, explore a new country. And so we are here in the capital of Malaysia, Kuala Lumpur. And I've actually been here for a few days, but today we're gonna go around, check out some of the attractions, walk around the city a little bit, and I'll take you guys with me to explore. And our adventure actually is gonna start off with taking the public transport, which is the metro. As you can see from here, for a capital city, it is not very busy. I mean, it's not very loud. It's from first impressions, it is very civilized. So I'm gonna walk over now to the subway station, metro station, and see if we can get a ride. There it is, that is exactly what we're looking for. So I actually used this for the first time yesterday. Like anything, when you do it for the first time, it can be a little confusing, but it's actually pretty simple. Go to Google Maps, type in where you want to go, and it's going to very clearly tell you, what station you need to get from and to. And there'll be color-coded, different lines, and from that, it's kind of self-explanatory. But you kind of, over here, there's like someone where you can change your money, so you can have coins, and then you come over to one of the machines right here. And so I'm taking the red line, so click on this. Wait there, need to change it to English. Okay, we're in English now. Red line, and then you find where you're gonna go, and again, that's gonna say on Google Maps. See, 180 cash, and we just insert this. Then we get our token and our change. Take your token and we're through. So again, just look for the red and head down. And then we have this board, this is where we're going, KLCC, and it's platform 1. And just like that, 3 stops later, and we have arrived. Just a small walk from the metro, and we are in KLCC Park. And in front of me stands one of Malaysia's most iconic landmarks. This right here is the Petronas Towers. These used to be the tallest building in the world between 1996 and 2004. Even though they're not the tallest landmark anymore, they actually remain as the tallest twin towers. And this right here, the Sky Bridge, is also the tallest in the world. These buildings were inspired by Islamic architecture, and the name Petronas actually is not a real word. It was it's named after a Malaysian oil company, Petroleum Nasional. It's just a nickname, but you can see they stand very tall at 452 meters, and around we have different kind of skyscrapers. And yeah, if you come to the park, there's actually a bridge over there, and that's a really nice place to get a photo of it and a good view. My first impressions of Kuala Lumpur are very good actually. For we're in the capital city, in the city centre, and you can see it's very quiet. It is clean. I feel safe. Yeah, seems like a really nice city. I think there are a lot of people that come here from all over the world, to work, to study, to live, and to have diversity in a country is a good thing. And so yeah, to stand here or sit here in front of the one of the most iconic landmarks is very cool. I don't know if you can tell on camera, but they are absolutely massive. And yeah, it's actually off-season here in Malaysia. November is considered off-season, but it's still 33 degrees, so it's still hot. but you will have some downpours of rain, which is no problem for me. So aside from the Petronas Towers, you can see there is an array of big skyscrapers and buildings, and KLCC Park is also going to be a nice place to just come, hang out and enjoy the views of the different buildings and just the peace here. As I said, the Petronas Towers is actually inspired by Islamic architecture, and Malaysia as a country, the majority will identify as Islam. So there's about 64% Islam, 19% is Buddhist, there 9% which is Christian, and 6% which is Hindu. So of course it is very multicultural and diverse, which I think is a good thing. Malaysia mix up, I think there's over 34 million people that live here, and that's going to be split between Malay, Chinese and Indian. So yeah, anytime you come to a place where there's a lot of different people from all over the world that live here, you will see, you know, a lot of different food, a lot of different culture, a lot of different people. And when I spent time in India, I learned that politically China and India are not on the best of terms. However, the people here coexist just fine, it seems. And I actually learned recently that there is a term given when Chinese and Indians mix, which is Chindians. And I find a lot of people like that who live here in Malaysia and also in Singapore. Yeah, it's actually so nice. Reminds me a little bit of Thailand. It is starting to rain a little bit, which I think will maybe make things a little bit cooler, which is a good sign. I actually needed to use the toilet, so I stopped in the mall right next to the park. And check this out. Very fancy. You have designer brands, Dior, Calvin Klein. Considering this is still, you know, a developing country, Malaysia has a lot of very nice fancy malls. So just about to leave, but you can see on the water it's raining. So we're going to stop and have some food. And I think when it's hot outside, it's also a really nice place, a mall to cool down. I'm honestly not a shopper, especially traveling out of a backpack, you know, you can't be buying so much stuff. But it's cool to check out a mall in each country that I've been to. I think Malaysia is actually one of the more famous countries for having these big malls, and it is indeed very big in here. I'm trying to get to level 4. I have no idea. Oh, number 3 I'm on right now. You just see just big open spaces, a lot of different shops here. And there we go, level 4. Pokemon cards in a vending machine. Never seen that before. Can have another look at how big this place is. Even got an elevator right in the center. This is what we're looking for. So as I was talking about just a little bit of time ago, Malaysia has a big population of Chinese, and the second biggest ethnic group in Malaysia is Chinese, and of course with that brings Chinese food. And that is what we've got right here. As you can see, spicy pickled cucumber has already come, and have a bunch of different options here. You see wontons. I've ordered a few different things, and yeah, I think for anyone who is new, hello. I actually follow a plant-based diet, so I guess street food and things like that in some countries are not always possible. You know, a lot of countries, the street food and things like that contain meat or egg, but we'll see. Maybe I can get something today. I don't know what lies ahead, but it's possible. But yeah, we'll wait for the rest of the food, and I will give it a try. So I think the food is going to come out at different times, so we'll just go ahead and start. Spicy pickled cucumber, and this is mushroom and vegetable wonton. So the spicy pickled cucumber, I learned to use chopsticks in Vietnam, and it has been a skill that is very useful. So crunchy. Wow. They're so fresh, and I never knew cucumbers could have so much flavour. Very impressed. They got like a, not really spicy, but a tangy kind of sauce. Now the wonton. Also so good. That's like a really nice like texture. Kind of just melts into your mouth. I'm so impressed. I've had wontons before. I've had cucumber before, but this is a new experience. Very good. So another dish has come. Mushroom and vegetable bun, and it says to mix vinegar and soy sauce. I don't know if this is my first time trying buns. Maybe. I don't even know how to go about eating them. Oh no, they're so fluffy. Yeah, I think I've never eaten these. So, first time for everything, right? You know, I don't know how to eat this, I'm just gonna... Wow. A really nice texture, and you can see it in that. Hot, so fluffy. Wow, I'm impressed. I guess we now try it with some soy sauce and vinegar. Okay, I'm very impressed. So now in Malaysia, I've tried Indian food, I've tried Chinese food, the last one is Malaysian food. Okay, I figured it out. So you actually take the bun, take the bun and you leave it in the bowl of soy sauce and vinegar, and then you take a bite. You know, when you travel, food is one of the greatest things that you can explore, and this is, I would say, one of the favourite things I've had. I really enjoyed that, and the total was, or is, about 52. Currency here is called ringgit, so that's about £10, and each dish works out at about £3. So considering we're in a mall and whatnot, you know, sometimes in the mall it's going to be more expensive. I think it's a good price. Overall, I'd say Malaysia, in my experience, is more expensive than the other countries that I've been around Southeast Asia. Maybe on par with Thailand. I think you can eat. When I was near the airport, I was eating like a dosa for like £1 or 5 ringgit. So I think it depends where you are. But yeah, overall, I'd say generally a little bit more expensive than the other countries in Southeast Asia. Okay, man, it's time to get out of this mall, back exploring the streets of beautiful Kuala Lumpur. Hello. Kieran, right? Yeah. You like it in Malaysia?
No choice.
No choice?
I born here.
You were born here, okay.
I born here, no choice.
But Kuala Lumpur seems like a good city. Not so loud. Yeah, it seems good people.
Yeah.
From Chinese food to a gorgeous Chinese temple. This was actually built 37 years ago in 1987 and cost 7 million ringgit. I got here actually, you know, usually you can take the metro, that's the cheapest way to get around, but there's no metro station near to this temple, and so I took a Grab. You can use Grab or InDrive, which is going to be similar to Uber. Funnily enough, my driver was also Chinese. Had a really nice conversation with him, very nice guy, and he had a little Buddha there in the front. Interestingly, this is probably my first Chinese temple. When I was in Vietnam, you'll notice that the Buddhism there has influence from China. So even though Buddhism is kind of one religion, you do have different forms of it. And so here in Chinese Buddhism, they worship a lot someone called Quan Yin, which is this lady figure right over here. Whereas in countries like Sri Lanka or Thailand or Laos, you'll see worship primarily of Siddhartha Gautama, which is, you know, Lord Buddha. But it's so interesting to see this. I know in films and different things you're going to see a lot of this you know, the lanterns and things like that, and to see the skyline right behind is really, really cool, really fascinating. Chinese have actually had presence here in Malaysia since the 15th century, but saw an increase in the 19th century, and that was because of British policy. So a lot of young Chinese men came to work in tin mining, and because of that increase, we see the kind of Chinese population is kind of big here in Malaysia. As I mentioned earlier, it's the second biggest ethnicity group, and with that brings the Buddhism. For anyone who doesn't know, China is the most popular country, or I think the biggest country of Buddhist followers are in China. So it's really cool to see this temple right here, so much decoration, and you know, around over here we will walk around. You have different sculptures and things like that. Not sure if the temple is open. It did say it closes at 8 p.m, but the doors looked locked. We will have a look. Also looks like there's a gift shop right down there, so let's go check this place out. So we have a little, I think, fish pond right here, and as I mentioned, this is Quan Jin, which is a female, I don't know the exact word for it, but kind of like a female version of the Buddha, and you know, represents different things. You can see a lot of people have put money down here. I guess they flick it in and make a wish. Really nice feature actually right here. Water and different animals. Honestly, like a little garden, and we have a pagoda style thing right here, and it does actually look like the temple is opened. I can see people walking up there, and you can see it's actually ginormous. It's, yeah, very, very big, lots of colour, and I think behind us we also have, can't see it right now, I will show you, but it's actually the second biggest tower in the world. Right next to the temple here we have a collection of animals. So in China they follow kind of a different calendar, the Chinese calendar, and you've probably heard, you know, Chinese New Year and things like that. And so for each year, I think it goes in cycles, but for each particular set of years they'll have an animal that is kind of attributed to that year. So here we have a boar, and you can see, yeah, right down here there's going to be the different, you see that, the different years which the boar would belong to, and also what the boar represents. So we see here honest, active, placid, confident, frank, sincere, you know, a bunch of different things. And I think people, I think you know, I don't know if it's like astrology or something like that, but I think you can kind of, you know, depending on what year you're born, you can figure out your strengths and things like that. I think that's kind of the idea. Here we have the dog, rooster, snake. I just count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I guess 11. The horse, big old tiger, beautiful actually. And the year of the dragon, which I think is my year, right? Yeah, I'm 2000. Strong, success, passionate, serious, stable, creative, sociable, proficient, open-minded, highly intelligent, and has a water feature, so that's very cool. And rabbit. Oh, and over here I think ox. Oh no, there's 12. Okay, I missed this little guy. So this is, I think, the ox, right? Yeah, ox. Patient, reliable, straightforward, and then we have the rat, which I missed out. So yeah, I think there's actually 12, so I guess that's going to be the same as the Gregorian calendar, so 12 months. But yeah, very, very fascinating to see all of these. And yeah, I think, someone's flying a drone there. I think in Buddhism it's really interesting to see how in different parts of the world you'll have different forms that it's celebrated in, and yeah, like different rituals and things like that. We have walked up the stairs. Looks like the sun is actually setting right now, and this is the way to the temple. Ooh, so this is the, I guess, interior complex, and it's so gorgeous, especially with the sun setting behind there. Lots of iconography of kind of dragons, And you do see that a lot in Chinese Buddhism, whereas in different sectors you don't see so many dragons, but each has their own representation. And coming over here, you can have a very nice view of Kuala Lumpur skyline. Ready? Gorgeous. As I said, I think, so this right here, I forgot the name of it. Let me check. Okay, Merdeka 118. And that is, the second tallest building in the world, just behind the Burj Khalifa in Dubai. And looking out over at the skyline, you do get a picture for how nice this city is. And again, I'm very surprised by just the quietness in a lot of big cities in Asia. Or you hear a lot of beeps. But here, it's different, and it is a pleasure to be in somewhere like this. I'm happy that I missed my flight, actually. So you can actually make a small offering with joysticks or incense before you do a prayer. I'm actually not going to film inside, or not talk inside, but I will show you. Just walked up on top, so I was down there, and really a wonderful experience. I'm very grateful to be able to travel to different countries and explore the culture, religion, history of each and every one, and also to see how Buddhism is worshipped and kind of practiced in different countries and places. Buddhist temples, I would say, are my favorite. You could see them from the footage. You have 3 statues of Quan Yin, but also you have other deities, and you do also have statues of Lord Buddha. And you could see there, like I showed you, the incense, burning the incense. That is, again, a form of worship to the deities, because of the good smell. And then you also saw inside the prayer room was kind of fruit. Again, this is offerings to the god, or to the deities and gods. And yeah, I feel really, really grateful. And coming to a Buddhist temple usually will bring a sense of peace. Interestingly, there's no, when you go to when I've been to Buddhist temples or other temples in general, there's sometimes no photography allowed. So here, all you have to do is take your shoes off and wear appropriate clothing, meaning you cover your shoulders and knees. But you can take photos, you can take selfies. It seems there's no photos saying that you can't. But in there, it's very quiet and peaceful. And you also saw me do that, which I have seen online, is like this. You leave a donation, then you pick a stick. This stick has a number, and that corresponds with like a slot thing, a draw. Pull out the draw, and it gives you a little message. And also from the temple, you have a gorgeous view of the skyline. And behind me, you see over here, we have the sunset. And it's been a good day. Honestly, not sure what we're gonna do now. I can't say that I've seen anyone, any YouTubers or I've never seen any content or anything like that of this temple. So yeah, if you're in Kuala Lumpur, I'd 100% recommend this place. It's been a very special visit. I'm actually walking now to the nearest metro. But such a nice experience there at the temple. And I realized I said earlier the biggest ethnic group is Malay. I think the correct word would actually be Bumiputera, which includes Malay and the indigenous people of Peninsula of Malaysia, and then Sabah and Sarawak indigenous people. I think I'm getting that right. Not sure on the pronunciation. But the interesting thing is, I have just come from Indonesia. Of course, I had no plan to come to Malaysia, but the national language here, the official language is Bahasa Malaysia or Malay. And like I said, the interesting thing is Bahasa Indonesia and Bahasa Malaysia are very similar. So if you learn one or the other, and you visited either, you'd be able to kind of get around and communicate. They actually belong to the same family language, I think Austronesian, and so yeah, really fascinating. I spoke to my Grab driver earlier and he said, yeah, if Indonesian people come, they can easily communicate. So when I was in Indonesia, I mostly learnt Balinese, but I did pick up some Bahasa Indonesian. And so yeah, it's really cool to, you know, it's not like a big leap into a new language when you travel. You know, I really do like to learn learn the local language, but it seems, yeah, that it's very interchangeable. So that is cool. I have no idea where I am, but you can see the sky, the sky? I forgot the word. Skyline. The different towers and things. Yeah, I'm gonna catch a metro now back into the centre. And yeah, walking around, like, again, I feel safe. I don't know, not everywhere, and not every big city, right? Not every place you can walk around at night and feel safe. So thumbs up for Malaysia. So we've teleported back to the exact same spot that I was at earlier, because I've heard that the Petronas Towers at night is very nice. I have not seen it yet. We'll get the reaction as I turn around. Oh yeah, wow. Oh, it's so nice. Check this out. It's so bright. It almost looks like I mean, obviously the same building, but completely different look. Wow. They've illuminated that so well. Gorgeous. And it's actually more busy now than it was earlier. So many people, as you can see over here. We've got a water kind of show, lots of lights going on, and all the lights surrounding the area is so nice. Yeah, I'm glad I came to see this. Wow. Maybe there was a power cut. Half of it just went out. As I mentioned, you can see the skyline around is very pretty. The Petronas Towers is now out. Not sure why, but it is what it is. Glad we got to see them right in the perfect time. I feel like we've done a full circle, so I'm going to end the video here. Thank you so much for watching. I've really enjoyed Malaysia and Kuala Lumpur so far. Got a few more days here, so we'll see what else we get up to. But yeah, my first impressions are very good. I think I'd still like to try some Malaysian food, maybe at some hawker stalls, and yeah, we'll see what we get up to. I feel like, yeah, I've enjoyed learning about the history here and the culture and exploring, you know, different, how you know, so many different cultures and people are all living in harmony in one little place. And yeah, we'll see what the rest of my journey here in Malaysia brings. But for now, I'm going to end the video. Like I said, thank you so much for watching. I will catch you in the next one.